Kirk Franklin and I have been co-parents. And even though our son will be 33 in a couple of months, he's still our child. And we vowed to work together with raising him, parenting him, and even though we've had some challenges, we still remain co-parents. A lot of times people haven't heard from me. I haven't made a lot of noise in the news, behind Kirk. And for what or why, But we're here because some private information was leaked and Kirk kind of lost his cool. And we talk about cancel culture. And I was thinking, I can't leave Kirk out here by himself on this one. So I'm really not talking to y'all, anyone else. I'm really talking to my son. But you all will get a glimpse of this because of it was made public. So that's why we're here.
But so for the last couple of years, I know that things have been posted online.
Yes.
From by your son. So just kind of paint the picture as to, I guess, how things kind of climax to what we are dealing with today.
Well, when an individual child or someone is, so to speak, rebelling against their parents, and you hold them to a point of accountability, sometimes you get pushback. And sometimes you get pushback because they say things are not fair, or sometimes you get pushback because they are in a rebellious state. And in order, as you're working through that, you're trying to really find out, well, what is it? So Karrion felt at one point that his father was trying to kill him. And when I got wind of it and we talked about it, I said, Karrion, I don't care who it is. If anybody's trying to hurt you, then we can go file a police report. We will deal with it. I'm not saying my son is not hurting from us being teenage parents. I'm not saying my son doesn't have a testimony. But what I am saying is you were not abandoned. No one abdicated their responsibility towards you. You are loved. You are loved, Karrion Franklin. And I'll look in the camera and say that you are loved. We support you then, we support you now, we support you tomorrow. But there's a way to deal with it. And all we've tried to do as parents is work through the issue, get our son to a point of being a productive citizen in society, as well as having a good life. So, but things kind of didn't go that way. And that's okay because families go through things. But we don't get to use a part of an audio and not understand the true history of counseling, therapy, godly counsel, holding Karrion responsible, holding Kirk responsible, holding myself responsible, because I want to deal with what my son needs to deal with. And unfortunately, we're now having to do it here.
And just some background about you, because you have experience in helping people who have had trauma with your work in the Women's Center. And you and I have just talked several times about the Me Too movement, just in our own personal conversations.
Absolutely.
And I know you feel passionately about just if there is an allegation or if there is something that has happened, just to go about it the right way.
Right. We're not saying that a victim, and sometimes it takes years for a victim to come forward to be able to have the strength and the courage to tell their story. What I am saying is it's not fair to cancel somebody out before you have formally filed a complaint, made a police report, and given the way for investigation. We are quick, especially for black men, to cancel them out. And if this happens to one black man, that means it could happen to my son in the future. That means it could happen to his father. That means it could happen to the next man of God, woman of God, the next parent, the next boy or girl. So it's a danger when we take that into consideration, where someone could just come forth and say something without a protocol in order to deal with it. And we have a protocol. Sometimes people do wait too late to make a report past the statute of limitations. But we're not saying that you can't tell your testimony, but you shouldn't just run to social media first to cancel somebody out or to expose someone. And then if you are going to do that, make sure you expose yourself first. Deal with yourself first. So I worked at the Women's Center in Tarrant County for 6 years, and